Hey, and welcome to Beyond the Music. I am Zeke Martin, and I am sitting with a good friend of mine. Oh my God, how long have I known you? A long
Ooh,
time.
yeah.
I've known this guy before he was even married.
Yep. Way
Actually,
before.
you introduced me to your girlfriend.
Yeah.
No, you're like, we were
No,
going.
the
We were,
first time we
the
played
first.
together was with you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hardly knew her back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm talking with Aaron Bellamy, the one and only, from the amazing band, the ABs, co-founder,
Yep.
co-founder,
Co-founder. Sure.
something like that. You called me up, and you're like, "Hey, man, you want to come do this jam session at this girl's house? I think I kind of like her. I want you to meet her." I was like, "All right, sure." And I think it was in Alston.
Yeah. Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton.
Yep.
Oh my God, that was years
That was a
ago.
long.
Oh.
Let us not speak of how long. That was a long time ago.
So you are a well-accomplished bass player, producer, engineer, all of that stuff, blah blah blah, yakety schmackety. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is what you do, and you like to go fish.
Yes, I like
That's
fishing.
that's your thing.
That's my thing. That is my cathartic release.
Okay.
My meditational
Okay.
situation.
How'd you get
Yeah.
started in fishing?
I remember the first time I went fishing, my older brother took me when I was like little. I was like, 7 or 8 or
Okay.
whatever. And I loved it when I was a kid up until I was a teenager. I would go all the time. And it was just like being in nature, just kind of being by myself most of the time,
Yep.
quiet, thinking my thoughts, whatever. It's kind of like this, I mean, I didn't think too much about it back then, but that's just kind of like, I would have this whole little dialogue going on with myself, you know what I
Okay.
mean? And, you know, and just, it's kind of like a spiritual,
Zen kind of moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's also, with like me, and it's like God, nature,
Right.
all that stuff, and so,
Earth.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think about it that way when I was a kid.
Of course.
But then, so teenagers, you start having other ideas of how you want to spend your time and what you want to pursue,
Right.
So I pursued that for a good long time.
Nice.
And then, I started getting back into the fishing, you know, not, I think before I got married, but, when I was definitely like out of that pursuit stage of life.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I
Right.
mean?
No. Yep.
And I started, having just more interest in filling my time with things that were enjoyable,
Nice.
and
Me time.
me time.
Yeah.
And also quiet time, especially like playing music all the time, gigging. It's loud.
It is.
You got all kinds of people coming at you all the time, people yelling and screaming. You're at the bar, and for me also, when I got sober too, which
Yeah.
was about 8 years ago,
Okay.
I had all this time on my hands,
Yeah.
that I needed to fill with some kind of, because like, if you're trying to get off of drugs and alcohol, you can't just stop doing that and keep doing everything the way
Right.
you did
Things
before.
change.
Yeah, you gotta, create new outlets and create a new lifestyle
Right.
that doesn't involve that stuff.
Yeah.
That is still giving you fulfillment and pleasure and whatever.
Different types of habits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The good ones.
yeah, fishing has definitely become a habit. Too.
Yeah.
Now it's like I look at my credit card statements and stuff, and I'm like, oh,
Oops.
you really spent that much money this year on fishing stuff, But I love it, man. And now over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been doing kayak fishing,
Okay.
which is in the warmer months. And it's so I trick myself into getting some exercise. While I'm at
Okay.
it,
There you
know what I
go.
mean?
There you
And,
go.
So and you're out there on the water. I'll go out for 8, 9 hours at a time.
Okay.
And it's quiet and it's a singular focus. Like I'm
Right.
trying to catch this damn fish.
Right. Why
and,
won't you catch?
Yeah. And and it's like in those quiet moments is when, for like you don't even know the question that you want to know the answer to.
Yeah.
Until you like have that quiet moment where the actual question comes from you.
Yeah.
You know, and then
We're getting a little philosophical here, baby.
You know, sorry.
Again, no, don't be sorry. It's a musician thing. We get deep.
But you know, that's in those quiet moments when that the real question that you need to ask comes.
Yeah.
You know, and then the answer, that's a whole different level of quiet that needs.
That's
to
the
come.
next trip of fishing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but you know, I've had many epiphanies, or you know, lyrics will come to me, or music, you know, or ideas, concepts, or whatever, you know. But it's also just the contrast from like being out at night. It's dark. It smells like beer, and people are yelling, and like, you know, with me, I like when I'm sober, and at the end of the night, when everyone else is like drunk at the bar, it's their big night out or whatever, you know. So I'm just like, okay, I know you're really excited about what you're talking about right now, but I'm standing right here. You can take it down a notch.
Right.
But you know, so contrast between that and being out, you hear birds chirping, you hear, you know, life.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the thing that's making me happy these days.
Nice, man. That's awesome. Now, is it predominantly like lake fishing, or do you
It's lakes and rivers mostly.
Okay.
You know, just over the last 2 years, I started doing some saltwater fishing, which is like out of my element. I'm not as good at it.
Okay.
You know, like I definitely have a lot to learn. You
so
know,
there's
like,
different skills.
Yeah.
To know whether if you're fishing on a lake or a river or the ocean or whatever.
The ocean is a totally different.
Okay.
thing. I mean, fish are fish. They behave in certain ways.
Right.
But in the ocean, it's like knowing where they're going to be.
Okay.
And like, you know, what certain fish, you know, what fish are going to be where, what they like to eat.
Gotcha.
You know, how to catch them and stuff.
So there's certain lures that you have to use for
different settings.
Different types of water and different types of settings, like you said. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just, you know, because like in the ocean, the striped bass thing is like, it's, I mean, I went out on a boat with my older brother, the guy that took me fishing the first time.
Okay.
Last summer, it was like for my birthday, he took me out.
Okay.
And we went out.
Into the ocean?
Yeah.
Okay.
On a boat, chartered a boat, went out catching big, giant striped bass.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Like, I can take this home and eat it.
Oh, yeah. And I don't eat freshwater fish.
Okay.
Just because the type of fishing that I do, it's like sport fishing.
Okay.
And I don't feel like anybody has to die because of sports.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, I hear.
Like, you know, if I can catch a fish and release it back into the water, everybody's happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, and this might be some kind of like a justification or whatever, but I think of it in this way. In nature, you don't get a second chance. If you fall into somebody else's trap in nature, you're done.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, at least with me, I have the ability to be beyond that and release the fish back.
Right.
It's another chance. I don't know how much fish learn, you know, but maybe they learn like, hey, next time you see that bright orange thing flopping around that doesn't really look quite right.
Right.
Maybe you don't bite it next time.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right. Hopefully that's what they're thinking.
Or, I mean, hopefully
or
for
not.
me, the fish gets a little bigger and I catch him again.
Right.
You know, I have definitely caught the same fish.
No way.
Yes.
I was just about to ask you, do you have like recurring, like, do you like name them? Oh, hey, Steve.
Well, I have one fish that I definitely caught like 2 or 3 times.
Really?
In the same place. Yeah.
Not the same day, though.
Not the same day.
Okay.
No. Although sometimes I thought I maybe have caught the same fish a couple times in a row. But sometimes
I'm like,
fish
damn,
of
you're
the
stupid.
the same age group, they're like from the same brood, will stay together until they get really big. Then they are more solitary.
Okay.
Right. But okay. I'm gonna give away the location of my fish right now. I actually didn't see him this year, but so you know where there's that bridge that goes between Cambridge and like Brighton over by Harvard? I think it's the Elliott
Is that
Bridge.
the BU Bridge?
Not the BU Bridge.
Okay.
Closer towards Brighton, where the Harvard soccer fields are and stuff.
Yes.
Right. There's that bridge, Buckingham, Brown, and Nichols.
Yes. Yeah. I know exactly where you are.
Under that bridge on the Cambridge side.
Okay.
This is big old bass that I've caught like, I think at least twice.
Yeah.
But I think maybe 3 times.
Wow.
The
Okay.
Same exact fish. He's big.
Yeah.
He's ugly.
Yeah.
He's like light colored, and you can tell the thing is old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all torn up and like.
Oh man.
You know,
I wonder if like, so I'm sure tons of people fish over there.
Yeah.
So if you've caught him 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
I'm
But I
sure
don't know
other
that-
people have caught him too.
Yeah. I mean, I know that
Might be
there's
a rite of
people
passage.
fishing in the Charles River that don't have the sense to not eat fish out of there.
Really?
Yeah, because like now they tell you, like, if you look it up, on the Fish and Game website,
Right.
they're like, oh, it's safe to eat this many fish per year out of the Charles River.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, and from growing up on the Charles River and seeing it now,
Right.
it's a lot cleaner.
Oh, yeah,
all the stuff
most
that
definitely.
they've done, and actually, all this stuff about great white sharks on
Yep.
Cape Cod
Yep.
is because they clean up the Charles River.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's fish that migrate up the river to breed, right?
Okay.
They're herring, whiting, alewife. They're all basically the same type of fish, right?
Okay.
But they go.
Wait, there's a fish called alewife?
alewife. That's why alewife station
That's why
is
it's
called that. Yeah,
Really?
Because
Man, I'm learning something new all.
the river that ends right there.
Yeah.
That's where the alewife go swim up the river to breed.
Get out of here!
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
So that's
man,
why
I've
it's
been
called
here
that.
since 1986, and I didn't even know that.
Yep.
That's
Alewife
cool.
is a fish, and it's like a herring basically.
Okay.
And so they in the fall they swim up the river.
Okay.
Right, and to breed. And you'll see if you go to the Charles River when this is happening.
Yep.
You'll see the river is like thick with these fish.
Really?
And they won't bite anything either because they eat like little tiny micro plankton or whatever.
Okay.
I saw a guy out there with a fly fishing rig that was catching them, but you're not supposed to keep them. You're supposed to release them because they're breeding or whatever.
Gotcha.
Right? But anyway, for when the river was all polluted, these fish didn't come. They would come up to the mouth of the river and be like, "Oh, this is bad. I'm not doing that."
Gotcha.
They can, because the fish can tell the chemicals and stuff.
Right.
So for years they didn't do their migrations. Now they're doing it again. So now we have bald eagles, we have all kinds of, predators that eat the fish that you see in greater numbers. A great blue heron was almost extinct. Now you see them everywhere.
Wow. Okay.
You see, and bald eagles, they're all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
There's one that lives right, the boathouse in Brighton.
Yep.
You know what that is? Where there's a bald eagle that lives right there that you
Really?
see all the time.
Wow. Okay.
And that's something I never saw up until a couple years ago. Now I see them all the time.
Wow.
Okay. And what was that? Oh, so okay.
Great white.
the
You were talking
alewife.
about the great whites.
Right. The fish now that the riverway is healthier and the fish are there, the seals come to eat the fish.
Right.
That's another thing you used to never see, right?
Right,
Seals.
yeah.
Now you see seals everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so then the
Yeah.
great whites
The great
come
whites
to eat
like
the
the
seals.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
So that's why we have they clean up the river, and now we have sharks.
Right. Exactly.
But I would
see,
rather
see what happens when you're trying to clean up stuff.
I'd rather have the sharks than the pollution, though.
Oh yeah, agreed.
I'd rather die from a shark bite than from cancer.
Totally agreed. Totally agreed. Now, have you ever done like deep sea fishing at all?
Yeah,
or?
that to me that's not as exciting though, because
No.
it's just like you take your bait, you put it on the hook, and you wait for a fish to bite it.
Okay.
Although sometimes you come up with some crazy shit out there.
Yeah.
Like the ocean is big.
Yeah.
And there's big fish out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get like a giant cod or like a
Okay.
something crazy from down deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the fishing I like to do is more active fishing with like artificial bait where you kind of move it around and make it look
Seem
real.
like it's alive and
Yeah.
stuff. Okay.
You know?
Now,
Because it's better for my attention span.
yeah.
I don't have the attention span to sit there and... Because if all I wanted to do was catch fish,
Right.
I would use live bait, cast it out, wait,
Right.
smoke a cigarette, drink a beer, whatever.
Right.
This is what all those guys do. But, once again, that's not sport to me.
Right.
That's waiting.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I remember I was driving. I think it was heading. There's a bridge. Oh, where's that bridge? It's like heading over
Right
to
up here?
Everett. Yeah.
Yeah, the Route 99 bridge. With
Yeah,
those guys
yeah.
up there.
And the guys, and it's funny, man. I remember driving. It was like kind of warm weather, so it was like during summertime.
Yeah, you see
And
it
like
all along the bridge.
and
Yep.
all like you just said, smoking, and the beers are right there on the side. That's hilarious.
But that's one of the spots where the fish. So when the tide is changing, right, the fish from the ocean can swim up the river a little way,
Okay,
and when the salt water mixes with the freshwater fish are slow.
gotcha,
And they're like not happy.
gotcha.
And saltwater fish are much more powerful and much more fast or whatever.
Okay.
So they'll swim up into the rivers and feed on these fish that are kind of like drunk or whatever.
Gotcha.
So those guys are there waiting. You pull up a couple of these little scup or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But every once in a while you get like a 60-pound striped bass.
Really?
yeah, like this kid.
Now, do you like do you throw that back, or do you like if you get like let's say a 60-pound bass, right?
No, you eat that thing.
Oh, you
man.
eat that thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good food. Like you go to the supermarket and you see striped bass,
Yeah.
which is the most plentiful fish in the ocean.
Okay.
You catch them everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But and it's like, you know, almost $20 a pound or something like
Right.
that.
Okay.
You know, where you go out to the ocean,
Yeah.
you throw a line in, you're gonna catch a striped bass.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Okay.
well, I say that.
Right. I mean, you're right. You
know what I mean? But
gotta have a little experience and stuff.
You know, have
If
managed,
I go out there, I don't catch squat.
yeah, I've managed to not catch some striped bass before.
Yeah.
So
I've gone fishing once, and I couldn't deal with it because I caught a fish and I caught him in his eye.
oh yeah,
And
it sucks when you hurt the fish. Like,
Well, it was more of like I felt bad that I caught him in his eye, but it was more like ill, gross, it's slimy,
pull it out.
and I like, ew, this is
Yeah.
nasty. I was like, no, I'm done. I'm good.
now, every once in a while, I'll have these moments of guilt where I know that fish is not going to survive.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and like they have. So there's one place where I fish out in Natick that they stock it with these trout.
Okay.
They're not supposed to live around here. Trout are not supposed to live in lakes, except
Okay.
for lake trout, you know, and they're supposed to live in fast-moving rivers,
Gotcha.
you know, and so these things, they don't, I mean, they're beautiful fish or whatever, but they grow them in these, like, literally kiddie pools.
Wow.
They have, like, kiddie pools full of these fish, and they're swimming around in there, and basically all they're doing is trying to eat each other, because that's like, okay, I can eat these little chips of liver
Right.
that they get
That I
from,
get
like,
fed, right?
yeah, from a meat processing plant. The what do you call that? The byproducts.
Right.
That's what they feed these fish. Right. And like the only thing in here that tastes any good is my cousin over here.
Right.
So then they release them into the lake, and there's this school of fish that are just they have no instincts. They have no idea what's going on.
Right.
So every animal's like, oh, dinner time. You know, you got osprey and eagles and stuff swooping in, just plucking them out. All the other fish are there eating them and whatever. And they're just swimming around in this school,
Oh,
right?
that's awful.
And they're trying to eat each other.
Oh my
You know?
God.
Like, you know how you take a lure that looks like a little trout,
Yeah.
and you throw it into that school, and they're just over.
Wow.
Like, I was there, I don't know. It was
That's crazy.
In the spring, right? And they had just stocked it, right? And I had one lure that was just a shiny thing, right?
Right.
And they were hitting it and whatever. Then I put on this thing that had the rainbow trout pattern on it. Right?
Oh wow. Okay.
And every single cast, I was pulling out rainbow trout over and over again,
Wow.
to the point where I was like, okay, this isn't even fun. This
Right,
is
right.
like, it was literally like, fish,
Right.
fish. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's like,
Fish in a barrel.
yeah, it was literally fish in a barrel,
Yeah.
you know? But, so, you know, but a lot of guys are out there. You see the guys lined up all around the shore, just pulling them out and putting them in a bag, taking them home and eat them. So one time I caught one, and they got the hook all in its gills, and blood was everywhere, and the thing
Right.
was going to die. So I took it home, and I ate it, and it tasted like liver.
Really?
It tasted like liver because that's what they eat.
Wow.
You know? So it's like, I feel
That's
bad
too
for
bad.
those things because
Yeah.
they're
That
living in an
sucks.
environment where they can't really survive, you know. And that's like the best day of their life is the day they get released into this giant, you know, place where everything is trying to kill them.
Right. Wow. That's crazy.
It's a sad life for those.
That's
those
crazy.
guys. But,
Yeah,
you know.
no kidding. So what's your spot like? I know we've been doing it for the past 4 years, something like that. So I'm sure you got like, if you have like, you know, your preference, like where do you like to like really go?
Well, the place I go all the time is in the Charles River by my house.
Really?
So over there
Okay.
by like the Marriott in Newton, right there where like 128 and Route 30 crossover
Yes.
and the Mass Pike. That's where there's a boat launch there. I put my kayak in.
Okay.
There's lots of fish, you know. But it's like a lot of it around there, you're right next to the road, so you have a lot of like cars
Noise.
going by and noise, but it's really good fishing.
Okay.
But in my other spot is Lake Cochituate.
Where's that?
That's in Natick. It's right on the side of the pike, but it's this huge system of actually 4 like basins.
Okay.
It's one lake, but it's got 4 huge parts.
Oh, cool.
It goes over, so you can, you know, like I tracked my path that I kayaked one day,
Okay.
and it was like 21 miles or something. that I had
Jesus.
traveled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, but I was out there. I put in at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I pulled out at night.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
dark. So.
Yeah.
But
That's a day thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the best fishing is right at dawn and right at dusk.
Right.
But whatever. If you're good, you can make a fish bite, and then if you know where to find them.
Right. Exactly. If you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, do you go to like? I mean, we're in New England, so do you go to like New Hampshire, Maine, any of that stuff?
Here's my thing. When I go to do GB gigs,
Yeah.
we go there. You have to be there like 4 hours early or something, or whatever,
Right.
or more.
Right.
So I'll go. I'll set my stuff up, do sound check, bounce.
Okay.
And I'll go wherever's close. I'll go to the ocean.
Right.
I'll go if there's a river nearby or a lake
cool.
nearby. I'll go. I'll put my kayak in. When everyone else is sitting there looking at their phones and
Waiting.
checking their Facebook status and just waiting away.
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah, but just I can't deal with the idea of like, okay, I'm waiting for this time to go by.
Yeah.
When I'm laying on my deathbed, I'm like, oh, good thing I didn't get bored for those 10 minutes.
Right. Exactly.
You want those 10 minutes back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'd rather have spent my time doing something
No, that's great.
enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll tell you the most fun I've had was at Lake Champlain up in Vermont. I went there. Well, I say the most fun. Like the fish were like bigger and more powerful.
Yeah.
And more plentiful than other places that I had experienced.
Okay.
But I got, so last time I was there, we had a GB gig, and then we took 2 days to just hang out. We rented an Airbnb.
Oh, cool.
On
Nice.
the lake. So, but the first day we're out, I caught this giant smallmouth bass. Huge, right? And like, it was on Facebook and everything. I think I saw you a couple days later.
Yeah.
The thing was huge, and it was like a fight, and it was awesome, and whatever. But I didn't have a net with me, right?
Okay.
So when I went to pick the thing up out of the water, the hook went into my thumb.
Oh.
Right. All the way through my thumb. Oh, not my thumb, my pinky. Right here. I got a little scar from it right there.
Oh, my God.
Right? All the way through my pinky finger and out, right? With the barb. Yeah, it was bad. And then the fish started swimming away.
Holy
right?
crap.
So there's this video that Amy's got on her phone, right? Where it's all happy, like, oh, look at this fish. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Right? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute. And you can see the fish is pulling me like this. The kayak is moving.
Holy
through the
crap.
water, and the fish is pulling me by my pinky finger.
Oh my! It sounds like a cartoon.
It's 100% role reversal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause now I know how it feels to be pulled through water
Right.
by a fish hook through my stuff.
Right.
And I always am like, yeah, when the fish gets a hook through its mouth, it's not too bad. It's kind of like your hand or your fingers. It's not like your vital organs or anything. I'm like, yeah, your hand or your fingers.
That's your vital organ as a musician.
As a musician, I was thinking, wow. I'm looking at that thing. I'm like, that's probably not gonna work the way it did before that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I had to go to the hospital and get it taken out or whatever. But fortunately, 2 days later, I was playing. It was fine.
Right. That's right. No, yeah, you can't pull it back out because it has the bar.
So what they had to do is cut it and fish it all the way through.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did they have to like?
It would have been a lot easier if I hadn't tried to pull it out myself.
Oh, you tried to?
Yeah, I was in the boat with a pair of pliers, like yanking on it, trying to get it back
my
out.
Finger.
So bad. It was so
Dude,
bad. Even
that
just
must
thinking
have
about it.
killed.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, did they numb it at least? Or?
Yeah, when I went to the hospital.
When you went to the hospital?
They numbed it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was watching them do it. They had like, you think they're going to break out the tools, like surgical tools.
Right.
They had like pliers and like, vice grips and like, what it looked like they were getting ready to fix a car.
It's like, wait, I got all this stuff at home. I could have just, done it myself.
Yeah, it was bad. But man, a northern pike is a big fish.
Okay.
Like, I hooked into one of those things. And I'm fighting this thing, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the biggest fish I've ever encountered in fresh water, right?
Okay.
And then, and I don't know if you've seen what these things look like. It's a big, long fish. Picture like a barracuda.
Okay.
Right? It's a big, long fish with big, nasty teeth.
Really?
Yeah. And so I'm pulling this thing, and I get it up to where I can see it, and I'm looking at the thing. This thing has got to be close to 5 feet long.
What?
Right? And I'm like, wait a minute. What am I going to do with this thing, right? I'm picturing this thing flopping around in the kayak, like between my legs and stuff.
Right.
I'm like, whoa, I didn't think this through.
Oops.
Yeah. Then, fortunately, it like change its direction real fast and cut the line with its teeth.
Okay.
But I got it.
With its teeth.
Dude, the teeth. Next time you're on the internet, look up northern pike.
Okay.
And see what the.
So cut the line with its teeth.
Yeah.
So if you're like, really think about that. Okay, cool. I pulled this fish up. It's sitting between my legs.
Yeah. Oh, no, I never got it out of the
No.
water.
If you did.
Yeah, those
if
teeth.
you did, it would be sitting between my legs
With big
nasty teeth.
Yeah,
Who knows what diseases or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's in my kayak. No, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, okay, first getting this thing out of the water.
Yeah.
Right. Then having it like, this is the type of thing you hold like this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my kayak. And I'm like, this thing's gonna tip me over or something.
Right. That's like pictures that you see of people when they hold their fish up
Yeah.
and like, on boat piers or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
That type of thing.
This thing was huge. And I remember getting it right up to the side of the boat and looking at it and being terrified. Be like, oh my God, what do I do now?
Yeah, he probably looked at you like, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
try see what happens,
me.
right?
See what happens. Yeah.
But then he was like, and he like rapidly changed direction. The line snapped, and it was like, the only thing is he's swimming around with my lure hanging out of his
Right,
face,
exactly.
which was the exact same lure that went through my.
No way. That's hilarious.
I called it the impaler.
The
But it just,
impaler.
fish kept hitting the thing. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've, traveled for music, like, to, like,
Wait,
warm...
Is there any way to pause that?
Possibly, yeah, we can pause. And we're back, as we never left. Oh, yeah, I know, I was saying, so I know you've traveled to, like, warmer places for, like, gigs and stuff like that, and, like, you're on some island or whatever. Have you done fishing there?
No.
Okay.
I wish I had.
Okay. Is there, like, a difference in warmer weather to colder weather?
Different fish.
Different fish.
Yeah,
Okay, types of
different
fish.
Species of fish, yeah.
Okay, so does that mean if, like, the species is different, there's a different way of catching it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like every species has its. There's some crossover or whatever, but they all have their distinct way of feeding.
Okay.
So it's like, you got to target them based on what they like to eat, how they like to eat it.
Okay.
I mean, there's some stuff that's basically universal.
The same. Right, okay.
Like a small fish swimming through the water, something's going to try and eat that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But like knowing where they are and how to
And how they maneuver and stuff,
Yeah,
and how they swim and stuff. Okay. Okay.
and also like what kind of like, if I was really thinking when I caught that pike, if I had a metal leader on my line,
Okay.
or a leader made of higher strength line,
Right.
then I would have
Been able to catch it.
I would have been able to have to wrestle the thing inside the boat.
Right. Exactly.
Then I would have had to deal with that next situation.
Gotcha. And not
Yeah.
have it bite your hand off.
Yeah.
All
I'd have to
right.
get the hook out of its mouth.
Exactly. So, how'd you learn, like, about, because you really know about fishing. So,
Do know.
how'd you, like, learn it? Just doing research, or, like, was
Well,
someone kind of
you know-
like, this is how you do it?
There's all those fishing shows on TV that you like
Okay.
pass by when you're looking for something to watch.
Okay.
I watch those.
Gotcha.
You know,
Okay.
I have like magazines that I read and stuff, but most of it's just experience.
Okay.
And like when you have a conversation with that older dude who's been doing it for a long time.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? What'd you catch that fish on or whatever? And he's like,
Right.
oh, some people will share with you.
Yeah.
Like I think.
Sounds like
Fishing.
music.
Oh, yeah.
Some people will share it, some people
will
won't.
share and some people won't.
Right.
Some people will deliberately mislead you.
Right.
So
Sounds
you don't
like
get the
music.
shit. Yep. But yeah, so I mean, I pay attention and I watch people too.
Yeah.
I watch what other people are doing, But, fishermen, we like to, when we're passing each other in the boat or whatever, any luck today? Oh, yeah, what'd you catch them on,
That's cool. Yeah, there's a kind of like a camaraderie a little bit,
Yeah.
and like there's
Yep.
not click, but there's kind of like a click in
Oh, yeah.
it's my people.
I mean, there's definitely, like, people that I've experienced on fishing trips that I feel like if I encountered them in a different scenario, might not be so friendly. You know what I mean?
Right. Gotcha.
But I feel like out on the water, it's kind of like people are, that there's a common ground there.
Right.
You know?
Everybody's there to catch fish.
Yeah.
However, whether it be sport or eating or whatever,
Yep.
it's all the same. Everybody wants to catch fish.
Yep.
That's cool, man. Awesome. Cool. Any other things about fishing?
I'm not going on forever. You know what I mean? How much tape you got? But
That's awesome, man.
You know what? I recommend it to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not called catching.
Okay.
It's called fishing. It's the act of fishing that's the beneficial part.
Okay.
Catching is cool.
Yeah.
But fishing is healing.
Gotcha.
You know?
Okay.
So,
Fishing is healing. Oh,
yeah.
look at that, man.
Yeah.
Need to make a T-shirt with that.
Yeah. And if you want to go, hit me up.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
And here's the other thing too. This summer, I plan on making kind of like a podcast.
Oh, cool.
Like a video blog.
Nice.
I have to invest in some equipment, but what I want to do is like make my own little fishing show.
Cool.
You know, maybe
Oh,
start
that'd
it
be
on
awesome.
the internet and try and sell it to like one of these, fishing channel or whatever.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool, man.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. That's well, start off on YouTube and go from there. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
That's cool. Great idea. Cool, man. Well, again, this is Beyond the Music. I'm here with Aaron Bellamy, the one and only. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Cheers.
And fishing is healing. There you go. Awesome. Catch you guys next time.
No problem.